गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So in the last class we saw what we saw in the meditation. The knowledge and the ignorance, both our thoughts, are illumined by this pure consciousness. Thus, when the self takes the position of a seer and sees the object, he comes to embrace himself, because the material that has gone into making the I thought and the that thought is not other than the pure consciousness, isn't it? So when the I thought says I see, I hear, I touch, I feel, I taste, I think, I conceptualize, it is looking at itself only. It is not other than it. Yes, when we begin our scriptures and we study, we say that thought is inert, I thought is conscious. That is, we begin that way. But here Jnaneshwar Maharaj is taking the absolute standpoint, and from absolute standpoint, when you look down, you will see that this seer is also the pure consciousness and the seen is also essentially the pure consciousness. So what is the seer seeing? It is seeing itself. And that is the truth. Now keep your attention on this. The mind will dissolve itself. Then there will be no issue that mind needs to be removed from the system. Then it does not matter. So this is what we saw, and now see the gopis in Bhagavatam, they had the carryover of meditation is still there. The vision of the gopis was, they knew Krishna in two ways. What is that? They knew Krishna Atma Swarup, meaning they knew Krishna as the self that they are, and they also knew Krishna as Pratyaksha Swarup. So they saw Krishna outside also. And as a result of it, what happened eventually? Their vision got transformed after some time. Wherever they saw Krishna only. Inside also they saw Krishna, and outside also they see Krishna alone. That's exactly what is being told here, not in a devotional way, but from the absolute standpoint. How the Supreme Self sees itself as the objective world and fulfills itself as the seer, and how all this transaction is contained within the pure self is now explained. ते दृश्य मोटके देखे आपण स्वये दृष्टत्वे तोखे तेची दिठीचे मुखे माझी दाटे. He, the Paramatma, sees the objective world drishya and becomes happy on seeing it. All these countless transactions take place in the pure self. The Supreme Self who has become the Drishya Padartha just for the fun of it, he becomes very happy that he is seeing something different every time. And isn't it true? This is exactly the word which is used. Yesterday I did the Bhagavad. Exactly the same word came. Word means the thought. What was it? The gopis are complaining that Krishna is being taken away by Akrur to Mathura. And they complain that creator, why did you create create us? Why did you create love in our hearts? First you make us, then you make us fall in love with and get attached to people. And now that we have got attached to Krishna, you are taking him away. Why you are so heartless? First complaint. Second complaint, they say, Krishna is going. Oh, how lucky the girls in Mathura will be. They are not like us. We are very gawar. Gawar means we are very uncouth and wild in the manners. No etiquettes. But the Mathura girls, they will be all very, with etiquettes. They'll be giving glances. They'll be smiling from the corner of their mouth. And this Krishna, who loves everything new every time, he will never come back now. See? Navapriyaha, the word that they used there in Bhagavad was Navapriyaha. Krishna is he who likes everything new all the time. But see, they know Krishna is their self and they know Krishna is outside. Now see, this knowledge has just revealed to them. I never interacts with the same thing, with the same thought, with the same object ever again. It's always a new one, isn't it? Can you say every thought, if I say this word every thought, is it the same thought? Or is it a new one every time? It's a new one every time. Because time has changed. So this self, this I, ever enjoys interacting with new things. Same thing as it was told with Krishna. He loves Navapriyaha. Same thing is told here, that this seer enjoys seeing new things. The hearer enjoys hearing new things. So the experiencer is continuously experiencing ever new things. It's never a repetition. Repetition is only for the ego. Remember this. All this transaction of the appearance of the objective world in endless variety is going on in the same container, the consciousness, wherein at some point subject-object relationship is taking place. So the entire objective world called the waves is taking place in the container called the waters, and in that water some place the beginning and the end is taking place. In that container, somewhere the wave is starting and somewhere the wave is ending. The waveness is appearing on the water, isn't it? The ornament is appearing on the gold. Somewhere it has to begin. You cannot say that it is an ornament must necessarily have a beginning and an end. A wave must have a beginning and an end. A thought must have a beginning and an end. And this is happening in the waters of the consciousness. In the ocean of pure consciousness, the potentiality of wave can manifest at any point, at any time, like the jackfruit tree can produce the fruit at any point in its total body. How beautiful. So what is it? In the The wave can manifest at any time, at any place. So there is no logic, there is no calculation that this is where the wave is going to appear or not appear. Similarly, in this cosmos also, this possibility of manifestation is ever possible. Same thing is in our mind also. The possibility of what thought can appear. We say that based upon our sanskars the thoughts will come. But at what time they will appear? Do you know? They can appear any time. The example taken is the jackfruit tree. The tree, let it be on the trunk, let it be on the branches, let it be at the nodes, let it be at the anywhere the fruit comes and starts hanging. The subject-object relationship can manifest at any point in the consciousness. Experience the world and go back. Now you think of your own experience. Where is the subject-object relationship taking place? Mind only. Is there any time that it is not happening? Yes, there are many moments. Between thoughts also that is not happening. But there also, I know that there was nothing is taking place, isn't it? So, in the waking, in the dream, in the deep sleep, continuously this subject-object relationship is taking place, and it is by default. You are not making that decision. It is just going on incessantly. Sometimes it stops, sometimes it begins. When you want to sleep, sleep doesn't come. When it wants to come, you cannot remain awake. See? And this will continue. And if you look at it from the Paramatma's point of view, this is just the game that is going on. And what we are trying, if you take yoga and other things, we want to stop this phenomena which is continuously taking place. How is it possible? You are asking for trouble. You are asking that waves should not appear on the ocean. You are asking that thoughts should not appear in the mind. It is an impossibility. Then what do we need to do then? Rediscover or discover a new vision to look at the whole thing, just as Jnaneshwar Maharaj is giving us. Then that way we don't have to run away from anything. Neither from the thoughts, neither from the emotions. We understand that it is only a phenomena. The moment you understand it, it is only a phenomena, all your fears, all your frustrations, agitations with regards to the thoughts, they will become neutralized. They'll get neutralized. Thoughts will still appear, but they'll get neutralized. What does that neutralization mean? Means there is, now you are looking, you are not attached, you are not reacting to the thoughts that are appearing. You are standing apart and watching them. In fact, your attention is not on the thoughts, subject-object relationship, your attention is on the substratum. And when your attention is on the substratum, then to that extent, your value giving to the thoughts is curtailed. Then they don't become a problem anymore because you are not giving them attention. Just like we do it when we go to sleep. We give attention to the sleep. We don't give attention to what is the problem that is not allowing me to go to sleep. Even if you have intense pain in your body, knee, head, but if sleep comes and you decide that you want to sleep, your attention is on the sleep and you increase the feeling that I must go to sleep is so intense that you even forget the pain. The pain in the body, the disease in the body, the headache, all that is not able to impact the mind the way it was able to do before, isn't it? It is as if the waves come out of the mouth of the ocean and go back. In this way, the Supreme Self itself is the objective world and fulfills itself as the seer, just like a man or woman finding contentment in becoming father or mother. So also the pure consciousness finds contentment in seeing all the drishya right within itself and nowhere else. However, in all these transactions of relative expressions of seer seen, knower known, etc., the oneness of the pure self is not never lost. What is the parent looking at the child? As an extension of themselves, isn't it? And where is the feeling of contentment of being a father and a mother? Not outside, it is inside. And remember, the fatherhood or the feeling that I am a father and the satisfaction of that is inside, and that child that they are interacting with, they feel that it is my product, it's mine only. See, exactly the same way a Mahatma sees the whole creation as mine only. Your experience of I, initially it is only this, I am this body. For a father or mother, I am the body, I am this person as well as I am the child. For a Mahatma, the whole universe is included in the definition of I. Inclusion of the whole universe in the definition of I is equal to understanding that the whole seer-seen object relationship, the knower-known relationship is taking place within that one consciousness. Consciousness experiencing consciousness. Consciousness itself becoming the seer, consciousness itself becoming the seen. And in this way, and this is how a Mahatma lives. How this oneness is ever maintained is stated in the next OV. ते वहाँ घेणे देणे घटे परी एक्याचे सूत न तुटे जेवी मुखी मुखवाटे दर्पणे केले. Even when the transaction of give and take occurs, the thread of oneness never breaks, just as the mirror seemingly creates a second face without losing oneness of the face. Isn't it true that from childhood till today we feel that we have never become absent? Even though thoughts are coming and going, waker, dreamer, sleeper are coming and going every day, but do we feel we have come and gone? We clearly, openly, confidently say the waker came and went, the dream came and went, the sleep came and went, but we don't put attention that I am the one who knows that all these three came and went. The problem comes when I become a big waker, I become a dreamer and I become a deep sleeper, isn't it? But the truth, the more permanent truth is that I am the one who's supporting the three. Again, you can use the same word. I'm supporting and sustaining the three states without losing my oneness, isn't it? The Lord also says the same thing in the 9th chapter, that the whole world is in me, I am in the whole world. Really speaking, neither I am in the world nor the world is in me. And even though I am supporting and sustaining the whole world, I am yet transcendental to the whole world. I am supporting and sustaining the whole world without losing my oneness. That is the meaning here. And it is our experience also that we are supporting the waking dream and deep sleep without losing our oneness. We have never lost our continuity. We have never experienced our discontinuity. So, see how beautiful. Just take this thought and sit down. for meditation? Then why do I give too much importance to the waking world? Why not I give even this thought also? You just I give importance. I am one. I have always been one. I'll always be one, in spite of the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. They are coming and going every day. I am not going and coming every day. मजा आ जाएगा. In every vyavahara, in every experience, there is always the transaction through this trio of knower, known, and knowing. There is the knower or seen at one point and known or seen at another. Nevertheless, the thread of oneness is never broken. The oneness is maintained in spite of the apparent duality. When the wave is mentioned, knowingly or unknowingly, the ocean is implied. How this oneness is possible in spite of the duality is presented through a series of brilliant examples. Just as when one looks at the mirror, a duality is created. I, the seer, and the reflection, the seen. Although there is duality, the knowledge is of only oneself. So also the pure consciousness expresses as the seer and the seen, but does not suffer any loss of oneness. So even though we are looking at duality, we are looking at the reflection in the mirror, but where is our attention? The experience that we have is that it is me only. So when we look at gopis, when they look at the whole world and their experience is it is Krishna only, it is exactly the same thing. Mahatmas also look at the whole world and experience the self alone. What do we experience? We experience not I. That is where the problem is. So whether it is stone, whether it is statue, whether it is photograph, whether it is human being, whether it is animal, whether it is plant, whether it is ugly fellow, whether it is beautiful fellow, whether it is handsome, whether it is a paraplegic or it is a mental fellow, whether it is a criminal, you will find these things in the creation everywhere. But where is our attention? That if our attention is, I must be careful from these people, individuality is becoming stronger. If my attention is that, Arey yaar, I have been living in this default mode for a long time, that I must be careful of these people, I should not be manipulated, I don't want to become a doormat, I don't want to become attached, and I don't want to become, I don't know what I want to. But these are thoughts coming by default in my mind. So let me not worry about these default thoughts, because they have been coming, they are coming, and they might be coming afterwards also. Let me while this is going on, let me remain attentive on the infinite. Let me remain attentive on that which is continuous. Just like water is continuous in and through all the waves, gold is continuous in and through all the ornaments. Similarly, the consciousness, even while I am thinking that I am not able to understand, that now it is becoming clear, all these are thoughts that are appearing in my mind. Even while these thoughts are appearing in my mind, there is a continuity, and that continuity is me. Isn't it? Not the thought continuity, but what is that basis on which the thoughts are coming and going? Can they come and go without me? Can they appear without me? Can they disappear without me? So when I am seeing them, why do I feel they are angry thoughts? I must get rid of them. These are loving thoughts. I must hold on to them. These are disgusting thoughts. I must discard them. Because I see them as separate to me. But what is the truth? That without me, none of these thoughts would have been possible. Just like without water, none of the waves would have been possible. Waves are also, some are destructive, some are gentle. Similarly, thoughts are some are destructive, some are gentle. But what is the continuity? I, even while I am using the word I, there is a sense of I, the substratum that I am, the pure consciousness that I am, that is the continuity that is connecting all the thoughts together. Without that consciousness, the thoughts cannot appear. Without that consciousness, the thoughts cannot disappear. I am observing the thoughts. Before any thought came, I was there. During a thought was there, I was there. After the thought went away, I was still there. So what is more important? Is the thought which comes, stays and goes important, or the one who has never come and gone, that is important? So who is that who has never come and gone? The self, the I. Even while I am using these thoughts, not the thought I, but the one who knows that the mind has said I. And in this way keep falling back to the real, to the unchanging principle. Again and again and again. See, when we say like this, it sounds so systematic and clear. Isn't it, when Swamiji says? But when we are on our own, sometimes we lose the plot. That's what happens. We lose the plot. And that is where the scriptures, the words of the masters, they help us to remain steadily focused on the real and not get lost in the unreal. Let us start perceiving the divine presence in everyone and everything around us, so that gradually our relationship with the whole world becomes natural and comfortable. Natural and comfortable means what? That oneness. We do. Say that again? Oneness. Oneness is that in the outer world we are not seeking anyone's company and we are not discarding anyone's company. Whatever the world is throwing at us, we are comfortable. Wherever the world is we find ourselves to be in a certain environment, we are comfortable wherever we are. Comfortable does not depend upon what will other people think. What will other people think if I speak like this? What will people think that I behave like this? You are not behaving because of the people. You be comfortable with yourself, first thing. If you are comfortable with yourself 100%, automatically you will find yourself comfortable in every situation and every place. When our attention is on other people, then the discomfort comes. When your attention is on yourself, discomfort will not come. Gradually, differences on accounts of names and forms are discarded and Paramatma alone is seen in every form. Just like when we sit in meditation, we do Drishyanu with Savikalpa Samadhi, Shabdanu with Savikalpa Samadhi, which leads to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Drishyanu with means you focus on a form and meditate. Shabdanu with means you focus on a word and meditate. And eventually what happens? You merge into the form, you merge The form goes back to its source, the word goes back to its source. When it goes back to its source from where it came, when the form goes back to its source from where it came, you are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you go beyond form and sound. Exactly the same way, here also, uh, gradually differences on accounts of names and forms are discarded and Paramatma alone is seen in every form. See, a person who has lost their child for some reason and they go searching for them in the market. Every small child who is about their size of their child, they look, oh, I think that is mine. Oh, I think that is mine. Oh, I think that is mine. That's a different matter. When they go to that person, they find that it is not. But from far away, I think that is the one. I think that is the. When this habit comes to everything, imagine. I think this is Paramatma. I think, hey, this is Paramatma. Everything is Paramatma. The mind will not be agitated by the multiplicity. And you see, this is not very difficult. You are sitting in this room right now, your attention is on me or the words that are coming. There is so many things in this room. Are they a source of agitation to you? They are not. Just now that other person, he was banging the door, going to the toilet, taking shower. In the meditation we were sitting, the cat was meowing outside. Did it disturb you? You know it is there, but you are not giving value and attention to that. Where is your attention? On the contemplation, on the self, on the Paramatma. Why you are not agitated by the sound of the plane or any other seen objects in this room? Because your attention, you know that they are there, but you are not giving value and attention to them. See? Now, right now this plane is going on. Is it making a difference to your quality of life? We can't run away from everything in this world. We can't run away. All we can do is shift our attention to something worthwhile. Shift our attention to that which can never come and go. And that is the substratum, that is the Paramatma, that is the pure consciousness, that is the self. Then it is like Urvarukameva bandhanat mrityor mukshiyam amritat. Then we are like the lotus plant, untouched by the muck of where it is growing. I am the seer and God is the only seen. This is called Akhandakara or Brahmakara Bhagavat Vritti, where there is only one thought, I, the devotee and the Lord to whom I am devoted. So, when we see that consciousness alone is the material which has gone into making all the thoughts, water is the only material which has gone into making all the waves, then we see that Lord alone is the material that has gone into making all the various names and forms. Then where will be our attention? Even though eyes are looking at the forms, but your attention is on the conscious principle. This is what, don't look for the conscious principle outside. You are seeing that this consciousness that I am, this divinity that is within my heart, that alone, that is the source. See? Just like, take this thought is coming right now, just like the consciousness that I am is borrowed by the dreamer I give my, I alone am manifesting as the dreamer, and I alone am manifesting as all the dream people. Consciousness is the same. Where is that consciousness? In the mind, as the mind, isn't it? That mind alone has become the waker, and the mind alone has become the space, air, fire, water, earth, people, animals, plants, insects, trees, etc., etc. So, is there two minds there? It is the same mind. Mind is nothing but consciousness with thoughts. See? So all the thoughts of the dream world that are there, all the objects, the places, the countries, the cosmos, the everything that is appearing in the dream is pervaded by the same mind. It is within the same mind. It is not outside the mind. Exactly the same way this whole waking world is also. When we look at the dream world, sitting here and looking at, imagining that this is what has happened in the dream, it's easy. But when you are in the waking world, where the differences are so stark, it seems, how is that possible that the whole world, which is so huge, is in my mind only, is an expression of that same consciousness only? But if you are convinced that this is the truth of the dream, then have faith that this is also the same way. And therefore, if everything is nothing but that same mind, is nothing, the dream is nothing but that same one consciousness becoming many and experiencing itself, then this whole waking experience is also nothing but that same consciousness becoming the many, and the Leela is going on. Look at it that way, rather than becoming serious about anything. Such a contemplation quietens the mind, and in due course the seer and the seen get merged on their own. See? Initially, yes, we are not accepting it, but the more we keep prompting ourselves to have that vision, that it must be true. If Mahatmas are saying it, it must be their truth. That's why they are saying it. Scriptures are saying it not because to make us confused. They want the best for us. And what is that best for us? That we recognize who we essentially are, the substratum. Mind becomes quietened only when we are focused on the substratum. When the water boils and is agitated, all one does is to take it down from the fire and let it regain its original state. In the same way, the more the mind is exposed to the silence, the seer seen get merged into one principle, the Supreme Self. So where is the heat generated? Heat we are talking now. A pot of water is kept on the heat, it is boiling. Where is the heat generated? And why does the boiling in the mind comes about? Why do agitations come about? Why do doubts come about? Why do questions come about? Why do attachments come about? Why do desires come about? Why? What is that? Where have you kept your mind? Because of which the agitations are taking place in the mind. That agitation meaning too many thoughts are coming. Why? What is that? Our preoccupation with activity. The more we act with a desire prompted action, friction is created. The more action is there, the more friction. Where there is action, there will be reaction. And we get caught up in that cycle of action and reaction. Heat is generated, we become disturbed. Then what is to be done? Expose yourself to the silence. Can we, so that, for that we have to get away from the world, we have to go to an ashram? No. Access that silence within yourself. Access that silence as the substratum. Access that silence by putting your attention on the space which is in the womb of which the whole creation is. Access that silence as the conscious space of the mind in which the whole gross space with the entire cosmos is existing as a thought. Access that silence as the self. Silence of the mind, silence is not necessarily of the mind. This silence is the conscious silence that we are talking about. In spite of the simultaneous expressions of duality, the protection and preservation of non-dual existence is seen in many situations. In spite of the simultaneous expressions of duality, the protection and preservation of non-dual existence is seen in many situations. Although Dvaita Vyapara, transactions through and of duality are going on, there is no Advaita Hani, destruction or loss of non-duality. I have explained that enough, that the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper is expressing every day, but because it is expressing every day and going away every day, I have not come and gone every day. When I become the waker, then I have come and gone. If I become the dreamer, I have come and gone. But who knows that all these three have come and gone? That person must be necessarily transcendental to the waker, dreamer and deep sleeper. Take that position. Where can you take that position? Can you take that position in deep sleep? No. Can you take that position in the dream? Not possible. Only in the waking. Why? Waking state is the sattvic state. The thought eruptions is comparatively very less as compared to the dream. A series of beautiful and unparalleled examples are taken. Ange angavari pahude ghe cheila vegala na pade taya varuva che ni pade ghene dene. The transaction of duality in the non-dual self is like the standing of the horse, which is not affected while sleeping or awake. How beautiful he says, huh? How does a horse sleep? Standing. It does not lie down like we do. Cats, dogs, they all lie down. Elephant lies down. But horse, he stands. The transaction of give and take in the seer-seen duality is happening in the absolute without suffering the loss of oneness, is like the standing state of a horse is not affected whether the horse is awake or sleeping. So also the pure consciousness that I am is not at all affected whether there is manifestation or no manifestation. Of what? Of thoughts. In this way, the non-dual truth is untouched by the presence or absence of duality in its manifestation. Wow. Having given the example of the mirror and the reflection, and then of the standing horse, a third example is given of the water and the waves. Pani kallola che mise apana pe helave jaise वस्तु वस्तु वरी खेले तैसे सुखेला hai. Just as the water plays with itself in the disguise of waves, the consciousness is playing merrily with itself in the game of duality. The thought conveyed in this OV is that on the ocean of bliss there are waves of bliss alone. There cannot be waves of agitation. Because the waves appearing on the ocean are out of the bliss of the ocean. There is no purpose other than the bliss of the ocean. So if thoughts are appearing in our mind, they are appearing out of the bliss, that is the substratum. The water is constantly playing the game of the waves, ripples and bubbles. For this sport, see, when it says the water is constantly playing the game of waves, ripples and bubbles, the consciousness is continuously playing the game of waker, dreamer and deep sleep. Put it that way. These are the three. Huh? For this sport, the water does not have to go anywhere. Similarly, we don't have to go anywhere, and we have never experienced that we have gone anywhere. All the waves, etc., are contained in the water itself. The waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper are contained in the consciousness itself. The water has not lost its Advaita state, irrespective of whether it is acting as the support, the ocean, to the waves, or as the supported the waves. So similarly, this consciousness, the pure consciousness, whether it is the supported, is the supporter, the I, the seer, the hearer, the knower, or the supported, meaning that which is known, that which is seen, that which is heard, that which is experienced, it does not suffer any loss. In the duality of the support and the supported, the water continues to be one. In the same way, the consciousness is playing on the consciousness like the waves playing on water. The water is not born on a certain date, nor does it grow and die. But the wave is born, grows and dies away. In this way, that which is not affected by anything appears as if affected by everything. So what is born, stays and grows and dies? Take the total, don't just go with the body. The waking experience, the dream experience and the deep sleep experience. All of them have a beginning, they stay for some time and then they go away. And because our obsession is with these three, so we also feel that we are coming and going where to. But if you take the position like we are taking it right now, when we analyze the three states, we know that these three states are coming and going, but I know them, I never experienced my coming and going. I have experienced the waking world coming and going out of my mind. I have experienced the dream coming and going out of my mind, but I have not experienced myself coming and going. And the more we put attention on this conscious principle, to that extent our obsession with the not self will subside. The more we become focused or in a relaxed manner on the sleep, to that extent the obsession with the waking world will diminish. It automatically happens. The more one keeps oneself to the plane of water, the more one will be in the thought. What is this plane of water? The plane of waking, the plane of dream consciousness, the plane of deep sleep consciousness, or the plane of pure consciousness. So, where is your disposition at this moment? Is your disposition towards consciousness as consciousness, or is it, oh, I have to teach these people, oh, I am speaking, oh, I am seeing you all. This is what I'm just loudly contemplating. Or is that all this is taking place only because the consciousness is in me alone everything is born, in me alone does everything exist, and in me alone everything is dissolved. I am that non-dual Brahman. Has the waking come out of anywhere else? It came out of you and it went back into you. Dream also came out of you and it went back into you. The deep sleep also came out of you and went back into you. It has not been stuck on you from outside, isn't it?
This is also the Shiva Vishnu.
Same. Keep quiet and watch the respiration going on. When did it start? When will it end? In every cell in the body, the expansion and contraction is going on, and it is so in every cell, in every living being. Let the mind get absorbed in the undivided status called consciousness. This is an effortless glide into one's own abode. All paths lead to the same truth. Let the seeker's attention be on the truth rather than on the path. Now think, just I gave this example before, Swamiji is bringing it. In the dream, everyone is breathing. Animals are breathing, plants are breathing, all your relatives, all the people, you got the whole world in the dream world. Everyone is breathing. Where has that breath come from? Where has that consciousness come from? It is your breath which is expressing through all of them, isn't it, in the dream? It is your consciousness, or that one consciousness alone which is expressing through the dreamer as well as all the people in the dream world. It is not there are different consciousnesses. Exactly the same is true in the waking world also. And this can become our knowledge not by looking at the world but by focusing on the self, not by experiencing, by focusing on the self, focusing on the continuous principle. This is where we go wrong. We say we are listening. We say that I understood. But where is our attention? Discrimination means differentiating between the continuous and the discontinuous. Discrimination means differentiation between the truth and the untruth. So what is truth? That which is continuous. Now find out what is continuous. Right now, if your attention is on the words, you are focusing on the discontinuous. If right now your attention is, I know you are getting ready to go, so your attention is you have to go to teach, your attention is I must pack everything up, so your attention is on the discontinuous. If while speaking my attention is on, oh, what did I just now say, are the expressions correct, are the thoughts coming out correctly, then my attention is on the discontinuous. Then in spite of this, if all our attention is on the presence, on the conscious principle, that let it happen, I know it is happening. But all these sounds, all this activity that is taking place, again and again, so I can be speaking, but what is that? While speaking, I have created such a habit that what is that because of which speech is possible? On your side, what is that because of which hearing is possible? On your side, what is that because of which the thought that I have to go to teach come? What is that because of which my hand by default started folding the shawl and is now the body is primed up, anytime it is going to get up and go out. But our attention, all this can be there, but where is our attention? On what is that power, what is that principle because of which all these expressions are possible. The more we come back to that while doing everything, just like the gopis, their attention was only on Krishna in spite of doing everything. So we have to come back, maintain that poise, the poise that we are maintaining in the meditation today. Maintain that poise, even while our eyes are open, even when the ears are open, even when the body is moving. Some more examples are given. We will look at them in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Absolutely glorious, huh?
Yes.
Glorious.
Beautiful.
Just.
Swamiji's explained it well also. Swamiji's explained it so well.
Ore, I don't know how it has come out of him. Anyway, masters.